Hey everyone, this is Jay Wilburn, Captain Three Kidneys. I was going to talk today a little bit about my walk this morning. Um, my sons have lost TV for a week because they were kind of arguing and fighting with each other, so we were taking a break from it to give them time to kind of settle back down and stuff. So that's going on. Uh, the older one still has his iPad. The younger one has kind of lost his for the week too because of behavior. But there's a timer on it, so he can't get into it at first thing in the morning. And he kind of got up and was didn't really know what to do, and I was in the middle of my walk, doing the mile loops and stopping back to the house to refill water and that kind of thing. It was after the second mile that he was up, and I just said, "Do you want to come with me?" And I said, "You don't have to, but if you want to, you can walk with me if you don't mind walking a mile." And he got ready and came out and walked with me, and we talked about a lot of things, including my job of writing and what he was working on and the camp he had gone to and a couple other things like that. Finished that mile, and he said he thought he wanted to go for another one. So went to the bathroom, came back out, and we walked. My fourth mile, he walked with me, so it was his second. And it's interesting. I've been trying to find balance. First thing in the morning, getting up and getting some writing done, so that I'm in the momentum and the mindset of writing. Then getting my walk in, then doing my eating and taking the meds, and then rest, staying seated so that make sure it's not messing with my head before I get up again. Then getting back to work and all that kind of stuff. So all that was filling time. And today to have my son walking with me was interesting because we life as it is now kind of forces me into these stops. Where I'm basically just walking, thinking. I don't really have a choice but to do that while I'm exercising. And to have him walking with me, there was nothing else to do, so we were talking and interacting in ways that we just don't do for that amount of time. The amount of time it takes us to walk was closer to an hour than 30 minutes, and so we just spent that entire time talking about everything and nothing. So it was interesting, and he started asking me, you do this every day, and how long have you been doing it, and asked about getting up and going tomorrow and that kind of thing. So it's kind of an interesting change of things. It reminded me of that 2 months right after the transplant, we were in Charlotte near the transplant center and had appointments, regularly. Being 4 hours away, I couldn't, go home and come back all those times, while I'm recovering from surgery. So we stayed up there and stayed in isolation. My mom was staying with the boys here at home and getting them to school and everything. So there was this 2 month gap that we just didn't see them. And the uh, the thing about that was, we would call them and do FaceTime and that kind of thing so they could see me and see that I was okay, because they were worried. And talking to my son on the phone and talking about how I was doing okay and that kind of thing, he had just made a comment of, how thankful he was that this had happened, that the doctors had taken care of it, that, my donor had given me the kidney, that all these people had stepped up to kind of save my life and that kind of thing. And to today to be able to kind of take the time to spend that with him, which is part of the reason why you go through all this trouble to survive and that kind of thing, is the people that are important to you and that kind of thing. So for all the struggle that's gone on in terms of having to adjust lifestyle and change my schedule and that kind of thing, it provided this unexpected opportunity to kind of spend time with him that looks like it's going to extend into some other things too. So there's always these unexpected rewards for all the struggle that you have to go through, and if you kind of look for them, they kind of come along, and it gives you one more thing to be thankful for. So for my walk today and the time that I was required to take out of life, that gave me a chance to spend time talking with my son as I'm exercising and working on my health, I'm grateful for that. And for this, I will rise up and be thankful. The link, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link that is going to be in the description is going to go to another post on the Picking Up Sand site. We're looking at making some adjustments to that site and possibly some resources for people that are going through transplant or going through some other things that may be helpful information for folks that are looking for more about that. So check out this post. It's actually kind of talking about grace and sacrifice and some of those things that I was looking at when I found out that I was going to have a kidney transplant. So thank you for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.